Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see this time we are going to talk about fresh release from ICM, and this time it comes in 1/35 scale. It's another version of the Unimog S404, so as you can see this time we get German military ambulance version, so it might be interesting for some diorama in this popular scale. And of course we have a commercial sample here, so it means you'll get exactly the same stuff as what you'll see in this video review, so it will be interesting to check what is actually supplied and what is new here. So first of all, kit number is 35138, and you can see that the box design and also the box size here is comparison with my hand. They're all traditional for ICM, so nothing new. And also here we have quite nice box art in my opinion. Also on the side we have some information about the real vehicle and also about the kit itself. So just give me a second, I'll check. We have 293 parts here inside, so noticeably more than what we had in the open version. And then from the rear side, from the opposite side, you can see also 3 marking options which are included here, which is quite fine for 1/35 scale in my opinion. Of course we would prefer to have more, but I think it's also dependent on the reference material you have, so maybe you'll have some interesting photos, then you can easily copy it by yourself. Okay, what I'm doing now is cutting through the plastic seals which are holding in place this clear, not clear, but color printed top cover. So I'm opening it right now. Okay. And then we will check what is actually included here. So the box design is quite standard for ICM, that's why you shouldn't be worried about any possible damage or any other issues. I just took it off the camera because sometimes this top cover is a bit tricky to remove. As you can see, it's flexible quite enough. And then this white sturdy white cardboard box is actually protecting everything. And if I open it, well, it's a bit of a tight fitment to be honest, but I think that these parts will work fine. We have everything packed into one plastic bag, so let's move box here to the side and then start opening all the stuff. So it's a resealable bag as I said before, so it's quite easy and quick to open. And inside we also have several small plastic bags, so maybe we'll start with them and continue with the gray plastic sprue. So here first we have quite large clear frame. I think it is a new one because we need the window parts, let's say, for the rear section. That's why they are supplied as a separate plastic sprue. So here you can check all these parts. In my opinion, the molding quality looks quite fine, so there is nothing to be complaining about. The only thing is that you have to be careful while masking all of this stuff. So the question will be if we have the masking templates here included out of the box, or you will have to actually make them or buy them as a separate accessory set. Of course it will mean some extra money spent, but I would recommend doing so because it will provide you with a better result. Next we have 5 vinyl wheels or vinyl tires, and I will take one because they are absolutely identical. So this is the typical vinyl product. There is nothing to add here. I think they are okay for the out-of-the-box build. As you can see, we have certain features. Maybe with some weathering they will look quite fine, but if you would like to get an even better finish, then just go for the aftermarket made out of resin, because in 1/35 scale such upgrades usually noticeable, and it's worth spending a bit extra in order to get a bit more convincing wheels. Now you can hear that I'm opening one more plastic bag, so here we get the clear frame, another one, but this one will be familiar to you if you already seen the previous reviews, because here we have the glasses for the front cap and also these lenses for headlamps. So everything looks fine, and it's just a matter again of masking all of these parts. Okay, next we move on with the sprue A. So this is the first gray plastic sprue. I think here we should zoom out a bit so that you can see what I'm talking about. So overall quality looks quite fine. We have engine included, gearbox here, some of the chassis parts here and there, also suspension arms. Actually these are wheel axles, and here we have also this soft roof which should be assembled out of several parts, so be careful about it. What might be handy for some modelers is that we have separate bonnet, even though manufacturer does not show the open bonnet version as far as I remember, but you can do it obviously. And here you can check the parts from opposite side, so we have guiding elements wherever it is necessary, so it's just a matter of combining them together in a bit accurate way. So dry fitting will not be a, let's say, dumb idea here. Next we continue with the sprue B. So here we continue with some more parts for the front cap. For example, we have dashboard, we have also the front mask, we have also the floor panel and back panel, wheel arches or fenders, and here we have also exhaust. And again, everything looks fine. Exhaust even molded in this quite complex shaped part, so you don't have to install everything separately, it just comes as it should be. And here you can check again parts from the opposite side. Okay. Next we continue with parts for wheel rims. Here we don't have anything special, I would say, so you just install these parts into the vinyl tires and you're good to go. Maybe such design will make it easier to get the right paint finish, because you can paint them separately and then just insert into the vinyl parts, but it's up to you. Next we continue with the sprue C2. So here we have various accessories. You can see, for example, jerry cans, we have jerry can holders, various storage boxes, and also some parts for the jerry cans here, the handles, for example. You can see, again, some parts are really thin, so be careful while working with them. Also here you can see comparison with my finger, these parts are really tiny. And if I flip it over again, here you can check that the jerry cans, they should be glued out of two holes as far as you can see. So this one and this one, they are combined together. Okay. Next we have sprue D. Here we have suspension parts. So if I put the frame like that and zoom out a bit, you can see that we have a lot of interesting stuff. For example, one-piece steering wheel, also various brackets or handles for tools. Here we have the suspension parts, as you can see, shock absorbers. Here we have even the headlamp guards. Obviously, professionals will replace them with P parts for even thinner look, or maybe they will try to sand down these plastic parts. Not to say they're thick, but they could be thinner, of course. Here we also have some parts for the engine, for example this cooling fan, also the front bumper, and some minor elements here and there. So again, even though this is a 1/35 scale, there are a lot of things which you will have to add separately, and some of them might even require tweezers work, so be ready for that. And next we continue with the new sprue. So here we have a sprue C1, and obviously this one will be needed for the ambulance version. As you can see, we have all the necessary cutouts in window areas, but unfortunately doors are pre-molded, so you won't be able to do anything, and as far as I can guess, there won't be any interior. So in case you would like to open this door, you will have to cut this plastic somehow, and then also to replicate the interior. So quite a shame, to be honest, because it could be cool to have a fully detailed interior in the medical vehicle. But here also you can see that inside we have some guiding elements, so at least this will provide the easier assembly and make it a bit more enjoyable experience. Okay, next we continue with the decals. So there is only one decal sheet, so I will show it in a second. Okay, so here we zoom in, I close the lenses, and you can see here all the decals. So we have several types of the license plates, we have red crosses, we also have some decals for the instrument panel dials, and that's pretty much all. Of course, you can copy the red crosses with your own masks, and it might be even more convincing appearance, but even using the decals with a proper softener, I think it won't be a problem, and it will give you a necessary finish. So it's up to you to decide which way you will go with your build. Next we have assembly manual, so here I will have to zoom out a bit and also maybe close the lenses even more so that you can see everything in without getting blind. So here we have the short history note, we have also the technical specifications and colors chart. Next we continue with the parts map. Red color obviously means that these parts will not be used, so pay attention to the right parts, let's say, which will be used in your build. assembly process here, it starts with the main chassis. So as you can see, it's a matter of combining the separate bars together. It's not a difficult process, just be sure to check the overall fitment, do some dry fitting before gluing parts in place, of course. And I mean, all of these are just some basic actions we are used to do in the model builds. Next, we continue with the suspension parts. We start working here on the engine. So for the engine, I would recommend also to think about wiring, maybe also for suspension as well, because there are plenty of details to add with wires, especially if you plan to open the bonnet, then it's definitely a good idea. Here you can see the fuel tank getting added, and next we continue with the storage boxes. And wheel axles, they start to be assembled here and there. So overall, in suspension area, in this lower chassis, let's say, module, we have a lot of features out of the box, and it would be a good idea to think how to show them on the model, because otherwise it would be quite a shame to hide everything in the assembled model, even though some modelers prefer to focus on the external features instead and just not to show what is inside. So here you can see exactly what I was talking about. This bonnet is suggested to be assembled in a closed position, even though we have a fully detailed, well, not fully, but nicely detailed engine compartment. So I would rather think to open it to replicate some diorama scene, or maybe just to make it removable, not to glue it into the place. So of course we have also separate doors. Again, here in the assembly manual, they are suggested to be closed or assembled in closed position. The same can be said about this windscreen and roof as well, because we have roof in a closed position. Next, we continue with the rear section. So here, as you can see, a lot of things are going. And as far as you can see, this bar mount will give some of the interior features. So it should be inside, as far as you can see. So at least something will be copied, because it will be noticeable or visible through the clear elements. And next we continue with more parts being added to the roof. Here we continue. So as far as you can see, some of the rear section configurations, they will depend on the marking option you choose. So here you have to pay attention. And jerry can, by the way, going onto the rear part. And then we install it onto the main chassis. Here you can see more jerry cans being installed under the truck together with a spare wheel. And here we install the front wide lenses, front wide guards, 2 versions for the side view mirrors. And then we continue with the first marking option here, then the second, third. So we have more actually, 4th here, even though on the box it was 3 marking options, right? So I wonder why it was depicted like this, maybe just to give us a nice surprise. But this kit should be already available. You can get it on official Modelimex webshop. Of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion about this release. Do not forget to write it here in the comment section below. If you like this video, press the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.